following is a presentation of Main Street Media, your source for news, sports, and information on Main Street in Middle Tennessee. Happy Thursday. Welcome in Main Street Sports. Today on the program, our opening tip-off, Mr. and Miss Basketball finalists have been named. We'll run down those list of names, plus our Team of the Week, Player of the Week. Our guest in the Coach's Corner, Columbia Academy new football coach Seth Anderson. Also a little big game in LA preview and more. Stay tuned. Main Street Sports today comes your way right now. I'm JP Plant filling in for Mo Patton today with the Sundrop Kid from Alabama. Here is Chris Yao.
Oh, yeah, Thursday it is, and boy, do we have a great show lined up for you. I hate that we are sans Mo today because it is a really good show.
Yeah.
And it rarely are we sans Mo.
That's true.
If anybody's out, it's usually me.
Yeah.
And
he deserves a day.
He does. He does. So we're going to be holding down the fort best we can, JP, and looking forward to today's show. Like I said, it's going to be a good one. There are quite a bit of things to talk to each other about because, like you said, the Super Bowl's coming up. So we'll get into a lot of it. And it seems like every single day something new comes out about Auburn. So
it is.
Every single day. Brian Harson's back stateside, so that's good, I guess. He was at the SEC coaches meeting today, so there's a lot to get into there, and I'm anxious to get to that point. But also, again, like I said, the Super Bowl coming up. Some coaches in the group of five in college football have thrown out some accusations.
No. They wouldn't do that against each other, right?
Not against each other, against Power 5 teams.
Against Power 5 teams?
Saying there's tampering and it's obvious in the transfer portal.
Can't imagine that happening, right, Chris?
No, not in college football. I mean, they've basically made it legal to do so.
That's true.
We'll get into that, and a great story on The Athletic there concerning that. So certainly a lot to get to. So we might as well jump into it because we did have a decent little schedule last night. Got a pretty good schedule tonight as far as number of games to get to. So let's go ahead and get it out of the way and get to the rundown.
Yes, it is the rundown.
In a Wednesday high school boys basketball action in the District 3 Division II Class A tournament, Columbia Academy down Franklin Road Academy, 88-74. It was Providence Christian 60, Grace Christian 36. University School Nashville edged out Battleground Academy 70-65, and Webb School was an 83-45 winner over Middle Tennessee Christian. In junior college basketball, on the women's side, Columbia State down to Dyersburg State 60-49. And on the men's side, Dyersburg State got the best of the homestanding Chargers 78-62.
In men's NCAA action, it was number 19 ranked Tennessee, the Vols, 72-63 winners over Mississippi State. NCAA women, Lipscomb fell to Liberty 64-51. And in the NHL last night, the Preds fall to the Stars 4-3.
Dumb game.
Yeah.
Anyway, tonight's schedule at Culleoka, the Warrior Devils hosting the Bulldogs of Cornersville. Loretto is at Richland. That's going to be a really good boys game. If you're looking for a game to get to. And then at Lawrence County tonight, the Spring Hill Raiders will travel down to JP Stomping Grounds.
There you go. And NCAA men action tonight. Old Dominion is at the Borough and the Glass House, ESPN Plus.
It's 5 o'clock.
5 o'clock, thank you. Morehead State at Belmont tonight, 7 p.m., ESPN Plus as well. Number 23, ranked Murray State at Tennessee State, 7:30 tonight, ESPN Plus. Also, ESPN Plus. Hope you got the app. SEMO at Austin Peay.
If you want to watch anything, you better have ESPN
Hit the plus.
In women's action tonight, Belmont hosting Morehead State. That's prior to that men's game. It'll be a 5 o'clock tip. It's also on ESPN Plus. SEMO is at Austin Peay. Again, prior to the men's game, Murray State at Tennessee State. Prior to the men's game, it's 5 o'clock tip for Austin Peay, 5:30 at Tennessee State. MTSU women are on the road at Old Dominion. That's a 5:30 tip, and you can't see that anywhere. You'll have to listen to it, I guess. And I'm not sure where you listen to it, to be honest with you, because I assume the men will be on.
I bet you can get it at GoBlueRaiders.com.
Probably.
That's a good
or the
place to
varsity
start.
app too.
Yep.
13th ranked Tennessee at 5:30 tonight on the SEC Network hosting Missouri. Vanderbilt is out in Texas at Texas A&M. 7 o'clock tip on SEC Network Plus. In NBA action, the Grizzlies are at the Pistons. 6 p.m. tip. I assume it's on Bally. I don't know.
Sure.
That's it, though. That's today's rundown. May or may not be. We're not real worried about it.
You can find it.
Exactly. Opening tip. Top story of the day. Mr. and Miss basketball finalists have been announced. TSSAA will recognize the winners later this year, but a statewide committee of sports writers selected the finalists based on performance during this year's regular season. Academics and character are also taken into consideration. Basketball coaches and members of the media nominated the finalists. This will be the 37th annual award ceremony presented at the Murphy Center on Monday, March 14th at 5 o'clock. It's free and open to the public if you want to go to the ceremony.
So this is going to be have its own ceremony as opposed to announce in between the state championship games?
Yeah.
Which they've done in recent years, correct?
Yeah. You know what? I'm not sure when the state championship finals are. So it could be it could be before the state finals.
Could be that day.
Start. It could, because I think the state finals usually start on Tuesday, don't they?
State tournament. Well, it didn't start on a Wednesday. They may be expanding.
It'll be Tuesday this year because of Class 4A.
Yep.
Yeah. So I think that's the case. So yeah, it'll be the Monday before that. Interesting. In Division 2A, Maddie Hawk of Lakeway Christian, Olivia Lee of Trinity Christian, and Aaliyah Del Rosario of Webb School, who is phenomenal, by the way.
Yeah, Webb School's a really good basketball team.
Yeah, and we've seen them up close and personal. Columbia Academy has down here. Yep. So in Division 2 AA, Kennedy Cambridge of Innsworth. How about Innsworth with 2 finalists?
Pulling the Summit somewhat.
Yeah.
Brothers for Summit, but sisters here.
Kennedy and Jelani Cambridge of Innsworth and Sydney Maines of Knoxville Catholic. In 1A, Elena Anderson of Gleason, Savannah Davis and McKenzie, Lindy Ramsey of Unaka, not Unaka.
Correct, it is Unaka.
The reigning 1A Miss Basketball, Carly Weathers, is a finalist for 2A, along with Madison Hart of Gibson County and Jada Harrison of Westview. Sarah Burton of Clinton, Mackenzie Cochran of Page, and Brooklyn Crouch of Upperman in 3A. Amari Berry of Clarksville, who is incredible, and Tamia Scott of Clarksville Northwest in 4A, along with Jennifer Sullivan of Bearden. On the boys' side, it's Tyler Bird of Tipton Rosemark, Daniel. You got a guess?
Egbuniwi.
FACS, and Eddie Ricks III of Clarksville Academy in Division 2 Single A. In AA, it's BJ Edwards of Knoxville Catholic, Chandler Jackson, Christian Brothers, Taylor Tanner of Brentwood Academy. In Class 1A, I guess we have to say 1A now because Single A, AA, Triple A made sense, but Quadruple A is really hard to say.
Quad is, yes, doesn't roll off the tongue quite as well.
1A, 2A, 3A, 4A it is now. Zach Amonit of Pickett County, Roderick Robinson of Middleton, and the likely winner, Grant Strong of Clay County, who won it last year.
Right.
Class 2A's Gavin Burleson of Summertown here in southern Middle Tennessee is joined by Gus Davenport of Cannon County and Jared or Gerard, I don't know, Taylor of East Nashville. I don't know the answer to that. Jacoby Gillespie of Greenville, great football player. We talked about him quite a bit this football season, is in Class 3A, along with Arico Sane II of Jackson Southside, Stephen Walker of Fayette Ware. And in 4A, it's Brandon Miller, the McDonald's All-American, and odds-on favorite to win this award of Cane Ridge, along with Elijah Breadwood of Bearden and Amar Knox of Bartlett. I think if you're in the 4A and you get nominated as a finalist, you take that as a win.
Hey, it's history in the making. The first ever 4A Mr. Basketball finalist.
There it is.
You could take that moniker with you.
If you didn't have a pencil and pad ready when we named all of those, and you, or maybe you just don't know how to spell some of those names, it is available at mainstreetpreps.com. Go check it out. And that is our opening tip for the day. When we come back, Seth Anderson, who is recently named Columbia Academy football coach, is set to join us, is scheduled to join us. We'll also hand out some hardware, team of the week, player of the week, and more. Also, more coaching news in Southern Middle Tennessee.
That's right.
It's a big week for Southern Middle Tennessee coaching and football.
One domino falls, and that typically will trigger a lot of others.
And here we go.
Yep.
So we will be back on Main Street Sports today, presented by Mid-Tennessee Bone and Joint, to the Lee Company studio right after this. Mid-Tennessee Bone and Joint treats your orthopedic injuries and existing conditions. Our trained physicians will get you back in the game faster. Contact us at 931-381-2663 or www.mtbj.net. Hey folks, while we take a quick break from the show, I want to tell you about our friends over at Custom Stone Handlers in downtown Columbia. Ed Rich and his team at Custom Stone Handlers believe in leadership. And outside of the military, our greatest leader building platform is sports. Custom Stone Handlers proudly encourages young people to get in the game. You can contact them today at 931-490-4990 or visit CustomStonehandlers.com.
Jones & Lang Sporting Goods here in Columbia has been outfitting teams, officials, and anybody else from T-ball to college for 50 plus years. Be sure and check them out at 931-388-8060 or online at jonesandlang.com. Jones & Lang Sporting Goods, the look of a winner.
Zion Christian Academy, ZionEagles.org or 931-388-5731. You can schedule your appointment. Go tour their campus. It is beautiful over there, and you're definitely going to want to see it. Again, it's ZionEagles.org. Give them a call, 931-388-5731, and schedule your tour today.
Keep your home as comfortable as possible. If you have any issues with your air conditioner, electrical, or plumbing systems, call Lee Company. Our techs use visual findings and other technology tools to add transparency and clarity. You see what we see, whether we're in a crawl space or on the roof. We're here 24/7, so if you need us, call us. Lee Company. Call 931-548-4448 today or schedule your appointment at leecompany.com. That's leecompany.com.
Mid-Tennessee Bone and Joint has been the official sports medicine provider for Murray County Schools for more than 40 years. We specialize in orthopedic injuries, and our Ortho Quick walk-in service lets you bypass the ER. Visit us online at www.mtbj.net. Welcome back in to Main Street Sports today, presented by Mid-Tennessee Bone and Joint. We are live from the Lee Company studio. I'm Chris Yao, joined by JP Plant. Sans Mo Patton this afternoon, but
he's with us in spirit.
He's with us in spirit.
Absolutely.
No question.
The Hall of Fame ghost is here.
I'm in this chair. And
you are.
Weird.
You are.
I'm not used to being in this angle. So
do you feel smarter?
I do. I feel like things are going to go my way.
Okay.
Well, as we mentioned on the other side of the break, some dominoes are falling in the coaching world, and so we're going to get to that real quick. But first, we need to give you some hardware and go with the In to Win Life Team of the Week, presented by Custom Stone Handlers. In to Win Life is the kind of the nonprofit that Ned Rich and his friends at Custom Stone Handlers handle, and it's a great program. But We're going to hand this award this week to the Summertown girls basketball team, who got a pair of wins over Forest and Mount Pleasant last week. Coming off of their loss against Loretto, they bounced back, get a couple of good wins, and got another win on Tuesday night as well. So they're on a 3-game win streak right now. They've won 7 of their last 8. So that's, of course, when that 8th one is Loretto right now, it's almost like you just take what you, hey, there he is.
Look at there.
He said unavailable for the show.
Unavailable for the show. Yeah.
He didn't say unavailable for the first segment. That's okay. That's okay.
We'll slide him in.
We'll take it.
Yeah, the Hall of Famer.
The Hall of Famer
I
is
said
in the
his
building.
ghost was here. I'm seeing him in person right now.
Unless it's
Walked right
his
across.
actual
There we
ghost, and we've really screwed up. The MTBJ Mid Tennessee Bone and Joint Player of the Week, Columbia Academy's Maddie Lewis, who averaged 20 points and 3 wins last week, including a 59-40 January 31st win at Grace Christian. She scored 28 points and had 4 trays and 7 boards in that one. So, well done. Well done. That's going to do it for our hardware. As I was mentioning, but I gave it to Summertown girls because we had 2 teams that didn't lose last week, Loretto and Summertown. And Summertown was coming off the loss to Loretto, so I gave them to them.
There you go. Okay.
We didn't have that discussion before, and you weren't here. So.
I was just curious.
Oh man. Well, let's mention this real quick. It came out yesterday. We had an idea it was coming. Got the news yesterday for sure that Dakota Cruz has resigned at Summertown and will be the defensive coordinator at Columbia Central under his former coach and mentor, Bobby Sharp. So,
much to the chagrin of Lane Henson,
I'm sure,
and the Summertown administration, which now is set to name the program's 3rd football coach in 3 years.
Yeah, that can't be easy. So we'll get into that, I'm sure, more as Summertown gets going in a coaching search. You jinxed us. You said, please let the coaching searches be done. You were tired of it. And so
I am.
Well,
I
too
am.
bad, so sad, love dad.
Anyway.
It's all your fault. It's all your fault.
Fingers. Yeah.
Oh, man. But one of those new coaches we have on the line with us right now, Columbia Academy's Seth Anderson, is joining us on Coach's Corner, presented by From the Heart Cafe out in Chapel Hill. Renee Hart and the folks at From the Heart make sure that you are fed and happy. Some of the best food in Southern Middle Tennessee. Make sure to get out there and see the folks there. So let's welcome him in now, Mo. It's brand new Columbia Academy football coach Seth Anderson. Coach, welcome in. Thanks for joining us.
Hey, thank y'all for having me on. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, congratulations. All obviously are in order. Columbia Academy graduate, longtime Columbia Academy assistant football coach, most recently serving as defensive coordinator. And oh, by the way, 2-time state championship softball coach, Seth Anderson. Let's not forget that.
Yeah,
because I think that's going to make for a really interesting spring for Seth Anderson.
Was as I actually tweeted that.
Mm-hmm.
Said 2-time state softball champion Seth Anderson joining us. So there you go.
There you go. Yeah,
that is going to make for an interesting spring. Coach, how do you plan to handle both duties?
Well, it's definitely going to be a case of time management and making the most of the time that I have. I'm looking for ways to get with these guys. On the football side of things, and having meetings with them in the mornings and kind of getting the jump on everything on that side, and then with after school workouts, relying on some assistant coaches to kind of help me out with the weight room. As you know, the spring is a pretty busy time for not just me, but for a lot of athletes as they play different sports. So taking the guys that are down in the weight room and really, pushing them. That's a big part that I'm leaning on my assistants to do.
As you get into softball, is spring practice set? Do you all have set dates for spring practice as of yet?
We don't have anything set. There are a couple options that we have that we're looking at, and as I'm, getting my staff together, kind of talk to them, discuss what works best for their schedules, and kind of go from there. But we have a couple different options. That, as you know, softball kind of eliminates several dates, but we found a couple good ideas to get our 10 practices in.
All right. You mentioned your staff. Is your staff complete, and is it all on campus, or do you anticipate any additions or anybody coming from outside of the program at this time? How's your staff coming along?
Yeah. So no, it's not complete yet. There are several pieces in place for sure. There'll be some new faces around. But like I said, we're in the process of looking at different guys and really finding who fits and fits into this program.
That's interesting. It's always that's part of it, right? Again, we just talked about Dakota Cruz coming from Summertown. That's going to create some different openings in other places. Maybe not head coaching openings, but the coaching carousel right now is getting crazy. So it stands to reason that you've got your work cut out for you as softball season looms. So you got a lot to do in a short period of time, don't you?
Oh yeah. And, like I said, like I hinted at earlier, I'm leaning on some of the coaches that we already have in place off the previous staff. Dominoes. You said it. Dominoes are falling pretty much daily. So you might have somebody who would like to be a part, but then all of a sudden they're getting another offer. So it's pretty fluid right now. But we've got some good pieces already, and look to add a few that are pretty solid, and really looking forward to that.
Speaking with Seth Anderson, newly named Columbia Academy football coach, here on Coach's Corner, presented by From the Heart over in Chapel Hill. Seth, a lot of times going from assistant coach to head coach in the same program can, I don't know, for lack of a better phrase, certainly have its challenges. What are your thoughts as far as that goes, in the, going from good cop to bad cop, getting the guys, in the mindset that, no, I'm not your buddy. I'm the head coach, just that whole transition, both for you and for them. How do you expect that to go?
Yeah, so you alluded to it earlier. Graduated from here back in 2005, and actually started coaching the fall of 6 while I was still in college. Coached Leslie Moat. I was fortunate enough for him to ask me to help out, which it was funny because he knew how inexperienced I was, being a sophomore in college. And he said, I want you to coach tight ends. Well, I get there, we're running 4 wide, and we don't really have a tight end. But I recognized what he was trying to do, trying to help me out and kind of get my foot in the door. So I'm forever grateful to him for that. Being here since then, coaching under 3 different head coaches, I've been fortunate enough to kind of see, different techniques and different philosophies, and, kind of pick and choose different aspects from each of those. And there's familiarity too. All the kids that I'm coaching, I've coached in some capacity. So, they know me. I can't, try to be anything I'm not. You got to be yourself, no matter what role you're in. You got to be yourself. But I do understand that my role is going to change. I told the kids, it's going to be different. I'm not saying good or bad. It's going to be different. So I'm really looking forward to that new role, and really excited to get it kicked off.
What do you feel like you do bring to the head coaching role, Seth?
Really, I do think there is some stability. A lot of times when there's a transition from head coach, there's a lot of things that a lot of uncertainty, and I think the fact that I've been here longer than a lot of these kids have been alive, which thinking about that right now makes me feel pretty old, but I think stability is one thing. They know what to expect from me, which is good. There's probably a comfort, I would think. So I think that's one of the key positives that I can bring to this program.
Seth Anderson here, newly named Columbia Academy football coach on Coach's Corner, presented by From the Heart Cafe out in Chapel Hill. Coach, we appreciate you taking some time with us. It's going to be a lot of fun watching you sprint between softball and football fields, while you're in between drills.
Maybe they'll get him a golf cart.
Yeah, we'll get you a golf cart.
Yeah. Check with Purnell on that. See what we can do.
Yeah, I'll be looking for it. I'll be looking for it for sure.
All right.
Seth, we appreciate it, man. Thank you.
Hey, thank y'all, and thank y'all for all you do in covering these athletes. We really appreciate it.
Thank you.
Well, Mo, firing coaches has become crazy over, high school wise, but in the college world, it's a little bit more difficult unless you have $20 million
Just laying around.
You're just laying around.
Yeah.
Or creative accounting, some creative administrative options too. We'll tell you what Auburn has tried to do on the other side of the break.
And if it's going to work.
It's not. I can go ahead and tell you.
There will be lawyers, right?
Yeah. We'll be right back on Main Street Sports today. Y'all stick around. Mid-Tennessee Bone & Joint treats your orthopedic injuries and existing conditions. Our trained physicians will get you back in the game faster. Contact us at 931-381-2663 or www.mtbj.net. Hey folks, while we take a quick break from the show, I want to tell you about our friends over at Custom Stone Handlers in downtown Columbia. Ed Rich and his team at Custom Stone Handlers believe in leadership. And outside of the military, our greatest leader building platform is sports. Custom Stone Handlers proudly encourages young people to get in the game. You can contact them today at 931-490-4990 or visit CustomStonehandlers.com.
Jones & Lang Sporting Goods here in Columbia has been outfitting teams, officials, and anybody else from T-ball to college for 50 plus years. Be sure and check them out at 931-388-8060 or online at jonesandlang.com. Jones & Lang Sporting Goods, the look of a winner.
Zion Christian Academy, ZionEagles.org or 931-388-5731. You can schedule your appointment. Go tour their campus. It is beautiful over there, and you're definitely going to want to see it. Again, it's ZionEagles.org. Give them a call, 931-388-5731, and schedule your tour today.
Keep your home as comfortable as possible. If you have any issues with your air conditioner, electrical, or plumbing systems, call Lee Company. Our techs use visual findings and other technology tools to add transparency and clarity. You see what we see, whether we're in a crawl space or on the roof. We're here 24/7, so if you need us, call us. Lee Company. Call 931-548-4448 today or schedule your appointment at leecompany.com. That's leecompany.com.
Mid-Tennessee Bone & Joint has been the official sports medicine provider for Murray County Schools for more than 40 years. We specialize in orthopedic injuries, and our Ortho Quick walk-in service lets you bypass the ER. Visit us online at www.mtbj.net. Welcome back to Main Street Sports Today, presented by Mid Tennessee Bone and Joint. We are live from the Lee Company studio. Chris Yao. The Hall of Famer's back. Mo Patton in the building, not his ghost. He's actually real. He's a real boy. JP Plant is still in the corner. By choice.
Nobody puts JP in the corner
Except JP.
except me
Yeah.
Did that
and
much.
Miss JoJo.
Yeah, sometimes.
Yes.
I think some folks at Auburn would like to put Brian Harsin in the corner.
I think they already have.
I think they put themselves in the corner.
You get
It's
a
what
ding
they
for that
did.
transition. Well done.
Thank you. I think Auburn has put itself in a corner. That is the problem here, because as a lot of my friends who are Auburn fans think that I am somehow in Brian Harsin's corner because I'm telling them that this isn't a good idea. Right? It's not a good idea to try and get rid of Brian Harsin after 1 year for any reason. Okay?
Well, here's the thing. One, the fact that you think it's not a good idea doesn't mean you are defending him.
Correct.
It's just a statement of fact. It's not a good idea. It's not a good look for a university that is having issues with optics anyway.
And this is my point is, do they not remember their last coaching search that ended up with this guy? They don't remember how they ended up with this guy? Everybody and their mamas turned it down?
Not just that coaching search. They have a way of
Bungling?
botching coaching searches. Nobody can screw up a coaching search quite like Auburn. I mean, who was it that which Louisville coach was it? Was it Petrino?
Mhm. Jetgate.
Yeah.
They were going to Louisville to get Bobby Petrino. Bobby Louder was on the jet, was bringing him back, except it got leaked. And next thing you know,
And Bobby Petrino wasn't.
Bobby
coming.
Petrino's not coming. And Tommy Tuberville was stuck going, I just won 2 games in a row against Alabama, and he's about to win 4 more in a row and a national championship if you count people's national championships. I mean,
But yeah, I mean, so the fact that you're saying it's not a good idea doesn't mean that you are pro Brian Harsin, and it's kind of crazy that people would come to that conclusion, but they are Auburn people. So
it's just amazing to me that anybody thinks that it's a good idea to fire a coach after 1 year in this economy.
in this,
No, but in this way, you have literally made it. You have told the next coach, whomever it may be, that we will do whatever it takes to fire you
if necessary, if we feel it's necessary,
if we want to do it,
Yeah.
whatever we want to do. So, what is the next play for Auburn? Well,
but the thing is, at this point,
you got to.
how can you not fire?
You
him?
got to.
Because you
have
can't
to.
bring him back
Well, he's at
now.
He's at the coaches meeting today in Birmingham. Now he came in the side door.
What's he wearing?
That's what I said.
Just a plain white polo.
Legitimately, this is. I sent this tweet out today. Nabias Wilburn, friend of the show, said. He said, "Oh, by the way, the basketball coach for the #1 team in the country speaking to media here at whatever time," and I literally tweeted him back and said, "Who cares? What's Brian Harsin wearing at the SEC coaches meeting?"
Right.
So
Guarantee it's not blue and orange.
it was Under Armour. It was gray.
Gray.
I don't know if it had an Auburn logo on it. It might have had an Auburn logo on it. Maybe. But it would have been
50-50.
Yeah.
It's 50-50 at best that whether he had an Auburn logo on his shirt. On his gray shirt. That's pretty telling.
I think it is. But I think Brian Harsin wants to be the coach at Auburn in 2022.
At this point, does he? Would you? Can you?
I mean, if I have a choice of getting my $18.3 million or coaching, then it's the $18.3 million.
Airtime.
every time. But what Auburn did on
I mean,
Tuesday,
coaching isn't a bad consolation prize.
no, in the
But-
SEC,
But
even if you don't have any coordinators.
I mean, what are they going to do? Fire me?
Well, the guy, a lot of people, he lost 3 coordinators. Mike Bobo's trash. He fired Mike Bobo because he's trash. He's been trash everywhere he's been. All right. He's just not a very good offensive coordinator. He's a great coach, but he's not a good coordinator. Just bottom line. All right. 2, Derek Mason left and took a $400,000 pay cut.
Annually. He signed a 2-year deal, which means he took $1 million pay cut, basically.
But in 2 years, guess who ain't going to be in the Big 12 and have to worry about no more? Oklahoma and Texas. Oklahoma State just became the dog in the Big 12. Why would you not want to go there? Why would you want to coach in the SEC against Alabama and Georgia and Oklahoma and Texas and Arkansas and LSU every single week when you can go play Baylor and TCU?
Because I'm going to make $400,000 a year more coaching against them.
Wrong. Because you're more likely to get fired when you lose to Alabama and Georgia and Florida and LSU and Texas A&M than you are. See, over the long play, it's smarter to be at Oklahoma State because you're going to be there longer.
Because of job security.
Because of
huh?
job security. See?
like the meme, huh?
Exactly. So a lot of folks saying, well, all the players are leaving. Well, he's kind of a hardtail. He's a hard-ass coach. And a lot of people can't deal with that. And especially when you go 6-7, a lot of people can't deal with that. But some kids can. Some coaches can. You just got to find the right people, and you have to build that mentality. Now,
but it almost seems like, I mean, I get the kids in with the portal and with everything else that's going on these days. Kids aren't really motivated to stay in place under any sort of adversity. I get that. Coaches, though? And I mean, again, you say
McElwain, I ain't got to take this no more.
You say Mike Bobo is trash. Okay, I'll take your word for that one. Austin Davis. Man leaves to spend more time with his family. He's not married. He doesn't have kids. He's going to hang out with his folks, I guess.
They said he wasn't a fit, which means that their personalities didn't match, right?
You didn't know that?
How did you not get that in the interview, first of all? But yeah, trust me, I get it. It's a lot easier to take a personality like Brian Harsin at Alabama, where you win national championships. It's not as easy when you go 6-7 and lose to Houston in the Birmingham Bowl.
No, it's not. And you're just coming in here. It's like, and I would imagine in Derek Mason's case in particular, it's kind of tough. I mean, it's like, dude, I mean, I know I was at Vanderbilt, but I was running things at Vanderbilt. I got a pretty good idea of what's going on.
I know a little something.
Exactly, Devontae Davis. Yes, sir. Yeah. I mean, he probably felt a little bit put off by Brian Harsin walking around like I'm king, whatever.
I will say this. Folks at Arkansas State and folks at Boise State are happy that he's gone. If that tells you anything, they're happy he's gone.
Helped him collect boxes, huh?
So I just don't think it's a good look. Whether or not it's a good idea to fire him, whatever, this isn't a good look. Especially what you did on Tuesday by putting out a policy that if you don't cooperate with investigations, you can be terminated for cause.
After you've not cooperated with an investigation.
That's not how this works.
Retroactive. Yeah. That brings up the next question, though. Is Auburn concerned with how it looks? And I don't think they are. And again, go back months ago when we talked about this. Nobody that has Hugh Freeze on their wish list is really concerned about how
optics.
Things look.
That's right. Just remember, the new slogan for Yellowwood is what must be done eventually must be done immediately. That is the new Yellowwood slogan. What must be built eventually must be built immediately. Here's the crazy thing, and I put this in the run of show. I just want to mention this. Brian Harson's dad called Feinbaum yesterday.
Talk about your bad looks.
Now, he didn't say, I'm Brian Harson's dad. He said, I'm Dale from Boise. Well, it turns out Brian Harson's dad's name is Dale, and he lives in Boise. That was dumb. Why are you not Jim from Culleoka? You know what I mean? Like, don't make it so obvious, Dale from Boise. Unless it was somebody trying to pretend to be Brian Harson's dad, I guess. But it was interesting that Dale from Boise calls in and defends Brian Harsin and all. This is hilarious.
Wow.
Oh,
so there's just bad optics
all the way around
this thing. Yeah.
Every single day something happens in this Auburn thing that makes it's like, can we stop talking about it? Absolutely not. We cannot stop talking about it.
It's a train wreck.
We're going to watch every bit of it.
Yep, there you go.
Every single bit of it. If it hits a car and the car hits a house. we're going to watch that too. Let's take a break. It's halftime because bad logos, man. Oof. They're out there. And the NFL has one now, so stick around. Main Street Sports Today returns after this.
Are you an enthusiastic sports fan? Want to have fun and get in on the action?
Heck, yes. That'd be awesome.
Have great attention to detail? Want to stay active?
Definitely.
Want to give back to the student athletes in your community?
Obviously, yes.
Then you'd make an excellent high school sports official. We need more officials in Tennessee. Because with no high school officials, there are no high school sports. Sign up today at highschoolofficials.com.
Well, Thursday Night Football is going to Prime, Amazon Prime exclusively. So if you don't have Amazon Prime, you don't have to watch bad football on Thursday nights.
That Thursday night lineup this past year was awful, wasn't it?
It usually is for whatever reason. I don't know why. It's like you would think that they would put a decent game on there occasionally. Just
it would be interesting to go back and look.
We watched we watched Green Bay and Arizona. Is that who was on Green Bay and Arizona when we were watching it? That's the best game they had all year, and it was the only one that I even cared to tune into. Their logo, though, have you seen the new logo?
Yeah.
It looks like it kind of looks like UPS.
Mm-hmm.
It's
a different color.
Yeah, it's it's just a shield, I guess, but it's so goofy looking. And have you seen the girl from TikTok who does the the lines girl, the Detroit line? I said, did the Reddit girl, did she make this logo? Pretty sure she made the logo.
The Detroit Lions.
It would have been better if she did.
Couldn't have been any worse. Huh?
So, how much longer can Thursday Night Football last? Are they going to keep doing this thing? And should they keep doing it?
It's a good question.
They're not taking that back.
Yeah, I mean,
but why?
I think some things just can't be stuffed back in the genie. I mean, I don't know what the alternative is. I think they want something beyond Sunday.
Well, the NFL is never going to admit that something they tried failed, right?
Oh, no.
And I think that's the biggest thing is if you take it away, then somebody's going to say,
well, why'd they take it away?
Clearly, this wasn't a good idea.
Mm-hmm.
Problem is, NFL, we all know it's not good. So
sometimes you got to cut your losses.
Well, you just keep doing it until, just keep going, right? Who's going to tell you not to?
Right.
I don't know. Thursday Night Football is.
I think Thursday Night Football works better at the collegiate level than it does at the professional.
It certainly does because you just get better matchups somehow. Or for whatever reason, Thursday night college games, Wednesday night action, and that sort of thing, it just always lends itself to some kind of crazy ending. And I'm okay with that. I don't watch a lot of Thursday night football because I got other things that I can do on Thursday nights. I watch some.
Come this year, you'll probably have other games to come.
Well, clearly, yeah.
Since the TSSAA is getting into the
Thursday night
football.
It's working so well for the NFL that high school football
completely different reasons for the TSSAA.
Completely.
Apparently, yeah.
Although Thursday night high school football in the east side of the state works. I mean, they had the Thursday night rivals game.
Yeah.
And
I think
usually
it's
pretty good
great
football.
just for the standpoint, those are the games that they televise over there.
Right. And that makes sense.
Yeah, it's the only game in town.
I told one coach, I guess it was Nick Patterson down at Richland. I said, so it's great for us because we get double the coverage. We get double the number of games in our publication.
Right.
So I'm all for it.
Yep.
More high school football is never bad for us. It might be bad for JP and Friday Night Live.
Yeah.
We'll adjust.
But it is.
Yeah, but from a manpower standpoint for us, it's certainly.
Oh, it's fantastic.
Yeah.
Oh,
Doesn't help my home life, and it isn't going to help yours.
sure not.
No.
No, it's not.
I'd love to be a fly on the wall
When I
for
tell that
conversation. Yeah.
Well,
Maybe she's not listening.
right. Let's talk about the Super Bowl because plenty of Nashville ties in the Super Bowl. We'll get into that and maybe some prop betting and other bets. So should be fun. Super Bowl. On the other side, stick around.
A game without a crowd is just a scrimmage. A performance without an audience is just a rehearsal. Without your presence, high school sports and the performing arts aren't possible. Ensure that these essential extracurricular activities continue to enrich the lives of students in Tennessee. Purchase a ticket to your local high school's game or performance.
This message presented by the TSSAA.
It's the second half of Main Street Sports today coming up. Talking a little big game out in L.A. Yep, just a couple of days away. Our thoughts on that game. Also, the transfer portal, never a dull moment, college football. And who would we want to dine with? 3 people. We'll talk about that. Kind of almost like a bonus Top 5 Tuesday. Top 3 Thursday. Get the little TH alliteration going. This is Main Street Sports Today with the Hall of Famer in the flesh and Sports Writer of the Year, Mo Patton. Here's the Sundrop Kid from Alabama, Chris Yao.
Yeah, Top 3 Thursday coming off of some Twitter drama, I guess, from Jonathan Allen, defensive lineman at the Washington Commanders. Almost said Redskins, which is
WFT.
2 names ago.
Yeah. Yeah. Right.
So anyway, but for now, we want to talk about Sunday and the Super Bowl, which first thing we got to talk about is the thing that matters the most to us is what are we eating on Sunday?
So as I told you all earlier, we usually go over and hang out with my parents because we typically have no rooting interest. It's just an opportunity to kind of watch the game, watch the commercials, and eat. And so I think the plan is wings and sliders, maybe.
You already purchased the wings?
I am not in charge of purchasing the wings, fortunately.
He's only in charge of the mac and cheese.
You doing mac and cheese?
There is no mac and cheese.
Oh, wow.
There should be.
Yeah. Wings and pizza.
Pizza. Well, I mean,
Okay.
of course, pizza, wings, and beer. What better football
What
party?
more could you need?
Boom.
Yeah.
What are y'all eating?
I don't know what we're gonna eat. Yeah, we actually go to a friend's house. Now it's been different friends over the last 3 or 4 years. we haven't gotten invited back a second time yet. So
Oh, goodness.
I'm
Well,
not.
does that have anything to do with your location? Because you've probably been in a different location for each of the last 3
Well,
years.
We were in Franklin. We were in Franklin for the 3 years, and then last year we were in Nashville, but my friends were in Murfreesboro,
Chris,
so it wouldn't matter where I live.
what did you do?
I guess we didn't do anything. That
Or do
might
you
be
not
the issue.
remember what you did? And maybe that's the issue.
No, that's not the issue. No, that's what I mean, I don't know that those people are even having Super Bowl watch parties.
Well, now
Who knows?
last year you guys were due at any time. So are you sure
We
that
were. I don't know what we did last year. I literally, I don't remember watching the Super Bowl last year.
because you were due at any time?
And 2 years ago was when we went to Murfreesboro. So that was fun. But anyway, I don't
So
know
what are you eating?
I don't
You
know.
don't know?
I mean, it'll probably be pizza and maybe I'll get some wings. Probably not.
Make your
They're
plans now.
expensive, though.
Yeah.
They're like $1
Uh-huh.
a piece. right now.
Everything's
I
up
think
again.
that's the point that JP was getting ready to make. Yeah. Supply chain issues, I guess.
Well, not just that. Every year around the Super Bowl, wing prices skyrocket.
Yeah.
I don't know if you guys have noticed that, but I saw a tweet thread the other day that said wing prices during the Super Bowl are really high, and then about 2 weeks after they go back down. So
Yep.
Gouging.
supply
Because
and
they
demand.
can. Yep.
Supply and demand.
Because they can. All right. Yeah.
Are you smoking
early.
anything? Because if not, if you are, I might be in Lawrenceburg.
You might
on
be heading
Sunday.
south. I am going to use a grill though. Going to do some a bunch of red meat and chop it up and make some Philly cheesesteaks.
That's a good idea.
Make some homemade cheese sauce. Saute little onions and peppers and mushrooms. May throw on a bologna as well. You
Yeah.
never know.
Now you realize, as we were talking about the weather the other day, that Sunday is going to be the coldest day of
Like
the next
42 or something.
41. Well, 41 in Franklin.
You see, I'm wearing shorts today.
Yeah.
I'm wearing shorts. It is 70 degrees outside. It's insane.
Not quite. It will be tomorrow, but it's close. It feels like it. Compared to what we've been.
When I was in high school, I would wear shorts every day if my dad would have let me. He set a rule that it had to be 68 or warmer for me to wear shorts.
68.
68 was the cutoff.
Okay.
Not 70.
Nope.
Not 65.
No.
68.
Well, 65 can be cold. Just
It can be. 68's good. 68's a nice, comfortable temperature
It is
indoors.
exactly. I think
right?
that's what we kept our
Yeah.
AC on.
So 44 is the high
On
in
Sunday?
Lawrenceburg
Okay.
on Sunday.
It's a little warmer there than Franklin.
The low is 19.
He'll be next to a grill. It'll be warm wherever,
Well,
and he can go inside.
I'll be at my parents' house, which has a screened-in porch, which has double-sided inserts in the screen. So it'll be 68 in the
No matter what.
in the porch.
It'll
Yeah.
be-
So the only cold time will be at the grill.
So you're going to grill under a roof.
No, we're gonna grill outside,
Mhm.
but
but he can step outside the door real quick.
I'll just step outside to grill, and then the rest of the time I'll be indoors
Oh, okay.
That's smart.
or in the patio.
Well, and I'm sure that we'll spend our time in the
Mm-hmm.
sunroom on Sunday because
Bring your sweatshirt.
we've got the fireplace, so it stays pretty warm in there.
You didn't have it on the other day when you were complaining about how cold it was?
I did. It stayed on for an hour and was still not warm enough at that point. So
Says the man who's wearing shorts today, Mo.
we will,
Yeah.
and that tells you how cold it was
Yep.
in there. I mean, I'm not normally cold. So anyway, in the Super Bowl this year, there are some Nashville, Middle Tennessee ties. One of which you spoke to him, I guess, during the playoffs, Van Jefferson.
Yeah. Yeah. Van was actually back for the Summit Ravenwood. What was that? The quarterfinal game?
I believe so.
Yeah,
Quarterfinals.
down at Summit. Got a chance to catch up with him very briefly. I guess the Rams were off that weekend. He and Chris Rowland and Seth Rowland were hanging out. But yeah, so Van has become a pretty key member of the Rams receiving core. I think he's got 800 receiving yards, 6 touchdowns this year,
Which
as
is
a second-year
impressive
guy.
considering the other guys are Odell Beckham Jr. and Connor Cooper Kupp.
Yeah. Well, you know,
who by the way had the greatest year in NFL history as a receiver.
Triple Crown winner.
So, I mean, and by the way, when in the beginning of fantasy football, when I traded Cooper Kupp, he said I need a good wide receiver. Well, Cooper Kupp at the time was a good wide receiver. I chose to keep Marvin Jones Jr. over Cooper Kupp. Talk about your all-time backfires.
Yeah, those are moves that'll get you fired. Bro.
And they did, in fact, get me fired. I'm no longer the GM of that team.
But in addition to Van Jefferson, you've also got obviously Jalen Ramsey, who played at Brentwood Academy and is one of the top cornerbacks in the game with the Rams. And Bryson Hopkins, who played his football at Innsworth, is with the Rams. So, in fact, there's a nice little piece on Main Street Preps on those three guys.
There is, in fact.
Who did that, Tyler?
Was
it Russell?
It was Tyler Palmatier.
Yeah. Those guys do a pretty good job of digging up features and that type thing.
I enjoyed the piece. That's where I got the idea to kind of talk about this. So,
yeah.
Plenty more Super Bowl talk that we can get into. But I did want to mention those three guys because it's really cool. You know, there's no rooting interest, but I'm rooting for the Rams for those three guys and Matt Stafford.
Sure.
That's why I'm rooting for the Rams.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. I mean, anybody that spent as much time on bad teams as Matthew Stafford did with Detroit, it's nice to see them get a shot.
He deserves a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Just give him a bone.
Yeah. So.
Let's keep talking about it. Some betting options on the other side. So, yeah, Main Street Sports Today returns to the Lee Company studio after this. Mid-Tennessee Bone and Joint treats your orthopedic injuries and existing conditions. Our trained physicians will get you back in the game faster. Contact us at 931-381-2663 or www.mtbj.net. Hey folks, while we take a quick break from the show, I want to tell you about our friends over at Custom Stone Handlers in downtown Columbia. Ed Rich and his team at Custom Stone Handlers believe in leadership. And outside of the military, our greatest leader building platform is sports. Custom Stone Handlers proudly encourages young people to get in the game. You can contact them today at 931-490-4990 or visit CustomStonehandlers.com.
Jones & Lang Sporting Goods here in Columbia has been outfitting teams, officials, and anybody else from T-ball to college for 50 plus years. Be sure and check them out at 931-388-8060 or online at jonesandlang.com. Jones & Lang Sporting Goods, the look of a winner.
Zion Christian Academy, ZionEagles.org or 931-388-5731. You can schedule your appointment. Go tour their campus. It is beautiful over there, and you're definitely going to want to see it. Again, it's ZionEagles.org. Give them a call, 931-388-5731, and schedule your tour today.
Keep your home as comfortable as possible. If you have any issues with your air conditioner, electrical, or plumbing systems, call Lee Company. Our techs use visual findings and other technology tools to add transparency and clarity. You see what we see, whether we're in a crawl space or on the roof. We're here 24/7, so if you need us, call us. Lee Company. Call 931-548-4448 today or schedule your appointment at leecompany.com. That's leecompany.com.
Mid-Tennessee Bone and Joint has been the official sports medicine provider for Murray County Schools for more than 40 years. We specialize in orthopedic injuries, and our Ortho Quick walk-in service lets you bypass the ER. Visit us online at www.mtbj.net. Welcome back in. Still talking about the Super Bowl coming up on Sunday. Going to be a lot of fun. I have no idea what time the game is.
Typically starts around 5:30.
Yeah. 5:20, 5:30.
5:30 Sunday, NBC.
Bengals at Rams.
Bengals at Rams. That's true. 2 years in a row.
After it never happened.
It never happened before. Now, seems like
I wonder how. Well,
with first-year quarterbacks, both of those.
so 2 years in a row, the NFC is the host team.
No, the Bengals are the quote home team on the scoreboard.
The Bengals are the home team.
Correct.
Even though it's in an NFC facility.
That's just a coincidence that it's also in an AFC facility.
That's true. The Chargers play there too.
Yeah, they just rotate who's the home team, and it so happens that this year it's the AFC's turn to be the home team. But I do believe the Rams will still be in their locker room. They'll just be wearing the white jerseys instead of their home blue.
That's unfortunate because their white jerseys are awful.
Yeah, I don't like their white ones nearly as much as I like the blue ones.
No.
Which is weird because I don't really like royal blue in general. I like navy better, but royal blue and yellow is kind of a weird. It's not a weird combo. It's a very common combo.
I think it's a pretty classic combo, actually. But
it's what, like, it's what high schools were before navy and Vegas gold were a thing.
well, see, I'm a fan of blue in pretty much any shade. Navy, royal, powder, any combination thereof.
I don't see they don't have any pictures of their white uniforms.
I can understand that.
Understandably.
Yeah.
I mean, that's unusual. Not unusual. It's just weird that they're going to have to wear their white uniforms
At home.
At home. That's so crazy. Maybe the Bengals will just choose to wear their whites. I guess the home team gets that choice, right? I wish they would just wear black and blue.
I wish they would too. I mean, I think we have developed to the point where you don't have to have white and color for television.
I was going to say, wasn't white the reason that they made that distinction or television because of black and white television?
Right.
So, I mean,
we're way beyond that.
Yeah.
I don't, have you ever seen a black and white TV, Chris?
Yes, I have. My granddad had one with the knob that you only had 12 channels on.
Okay.
And the rabbit ears to get anything up above 13.
No remote.
Yeah,
he was the remote.
I was the remote.
Yeah, that's a running joke my dad always has. He says, if I'd been born, I don't know, a couple of years later before the remote, I may not have been born. There's no need for me.
That makes sense.
Yeah. I was.
Oh, that's good.
Farmers have children in the old days to maybe some today. I don't know. But, typically you have a bunch of children to work the farm, right?
That's the reason you need it.
Yep.
Free labor.
Yep. I was born to change the remote, to change the channel on the TV.
That makes sense to me.
Make yourself useful, right?
That's right.
What is it? Making yourself
what's I know what
you know what I'm trying to say. I can't think of the word.
I'm blank.
We only use words for a living, but
Yep.
we know exactly what we're talking about.
Indispensable.
That's
There you
it.
go.
Indispensable.
Yeah. I knew it wasn't inexpendable but yeah.
That was the trifecta brain fart right
it
there.
really was because I had no idea where.
Indispensable. The more things you can do, like change the channel, then wash the dishes. Yeah.
Well, anyway, we won't talk about washing dishes. I'm the dishwasher. That's all that matters.
Yeah, you better not go down that road.
And I have washed 5 loads of dishes in the last 2 days. 5. Because we cooked for tonight. We've cooked every night of the week. It's been a lot. So anyway, that's one reason I don't want to do anything for Super Bowl Sunday. I just
because you've already cooked enough. Huh?
Please.
Yeah.
You were saying before on the other side of the break, we had Bryson Hopkins who played at Ensworth. Unique situation that he and his family find themselves in.
Yeah, I'm not sure how often this takes place. I would certainly not say it's the first time or the only time, or because there's always somebody waiting to pop you on that one. But Bryson's dad, Brad, was on that Titans team that played in the Super Bowl against the Rams.
That's
So,
ironic.
So he played against the Rams, and Bryson's playing for the Rams. So yeah,
I can't believe he let him do that. You're like Caleb Williams' dad, who told him you can make a list of 10 teams you want to go to, and Alabama can't be on the list.
wow, wow,
Yeah, that came out yesterday in an interview with ESPN.
interesting. Well, he probably wasn't going anyway because there's some guy named Bryce Young already over there.
That.
Yeah,
But yeah, so that's interesting. The Rams with the connection there.
yeah. It's pretty exciting for him, I'm sure. Again, a second-year guy, played his college ball at Purdue, and all of those guys young. Again, Van's in his second year. I think this is Jalen's maybe fifth or sixth
year.
Yeah. So nice to see. Nice to see the local kids representing, and
for sure.
it really it speaks well of this area. Again, when you look at the talent, I mean, we saw Jawan Jennings, former Blackman, stand out with the 49ers. We had Shaq Mason on last week. And there are a lot of guys with Nashville, Middle Tennessee ties playing at that level, and it's just fun to see. And I think it's more fun for these high school kids that are playing now to see guys who have been on the same fields that they've been on. And we've talked about how the talent level around here has increased over the last 10 years or so, and you're starting to see that now with more and more of those guys go into the league.
It's pretty awesome. It really is. To see guys you watch play high school ball play in the league is just, it's something special.
Yeah.
Prop bets. You guys, I mean, the Rams are a 4-point favorite. I think the over-under is 48.5.
What are you taking
on those? What do you got? Because I'm probably going to go over for sure.
I'm thinking over, and I'm thinking Rams.
I think the Rams cover too. I think it's going to be a touchdown game, and I definitely think the over is going to hit.
What's the number again?
48.5.
48.5 is the over under.
Yeah, you would lean towards over for sure.
So I mean, that's what 28-20 is short.
That's right. 28-20 would be short, but 28-21, you're in the game.
Mm-hmm. So
although the Bengals, they're
can they block Aaron Donald?
No, the question is, can they get the ball out quick enough?
Because they couldn't block Jeffrey Simmons, so they definitely can't block Aaron Donald. I mean, they're one and the same. They are 1A, 1B.
They are definitely 1A, 1 and 1A. Yeah. And again, they gave up 9 sacks to the Titans, but they won. But I just feel like it's the over. I'm thinking maybe, and even 31-21 is get you there.
Oh yeah.
So
56 prop bets available.
I'm surprised that's all.
And including the coin toss and that sort of thing. My favorite is the over under on length of the national anthem.
Who's singing?
Mickey Guyton, who is a former WWE diva and now country music singer.
Former WWE diva.
Former WWE Divas champion.
I did not know
She
that.
was a Divas champion.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That's a transition.
Was she on Total Divas?
I think
don't
she
remember.
was before her. Before that.
Because I've seen a few episodes of Total Divas. Mo, have you watched Total Divas?
No.
No. Mickey was like in the Trish Stratus era.
Okay. Yeah.
So like late 2000s, early 2010s era.
You said she's a country artist?
And now she's a country music singer.
So what's the time? What's our over under?
The over under is 1 minute 35 seconds.
I'm taking the over.
She's going over.
Because the number that came to my mind when you said that is 149.
Well, let me tell you why it's so low. Because 8 of the last 9 have gone over 135.
Okay.
The reason that it's so low is that Mickey has a nickname, Quickie Mickey, because every time she has sung the national anthem, it's been about 90 seconds.
Wow. Wow.
But nothing like this.
It's just amazing to me that there are those type statistics being kept.
A lot of people with time on their hands.
Apparently.
That was sneaky good. And don't even think you realized you were doing it. That's why it took me a second. I was like, Tom, no, that's good.
Too much time on their hands.
But I saw an interview with Mickey yesterday, and this is why I'm taking the over. She said the reason that she had always been so fast on the national anthem is because they told her that at 90 seconds there would be a flyover. So she was like, I got to get through it.
No flyover.
No flyover. And
do we know there is no flyover?
It's a dome.
No, it's clear.
Yeah, but they're not gonna. You do that for more than just the visual. You're not gonna hear it.
They'll hear it because the ends are open at SoFi.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's an open air.
I don't
stadium.
think there's going to be a flyover, and even if there is, they don't. They typically do the flyover on the singer's cue, not the other way around, like they do in other places. So typically the singer, when they get to Land of the Free, they will radio to the Jets, you can come now. So I'm going over.
I'm taking the over.
Yeah, I think it's over.
But I did think it was interesting that that's how they got to that number.
That is interesting.
Quickie Mickey.
That's interesting to have someone sing the national anthem. Now, I mean, I'm not completely up on the latest artist, but I've never heard of her.
She is.
And this is the biggest stage for the national anthem in the world.
So Chris is trying to figure out a way to frame this. Mickey Guyton is an African-American country music performer.
Which is unusual.
In a time where African-American females
in general in country music, but African-American
well, females in general, African-Americans in general,
way lower.
African-American females really
bottom of the list.
Really are struggling for traction in that genre. And so this is somebody scratching somebody's back.
I don't know if it's scratching somebody's back necessarily. I think it's a lot of one. Mickey's phenomenal. She just had a number one song called Black Like Me, which is insanely good.
All right.
And when you put those two things together, and then of course you've got the issue with obviously they made this decision before Brian Flores, but it certainly doesn't hurt
in this economy.
Well, and you know, with the halftime show with the hip hop R&B, you try to get as many different genres included. So you're definitely not going to tap into that window for the national anthem when you've already got the halftime.
But they did stick with a black artist, which is how about everything, man? LA right now is just You had the Clash last week. You got this, and the halftime show for this week is
the halftime show would be worth the price of attendance in and of itself.
It's gonna be wild. And what's so crazy about it to me, and this is kind of what we were talking about this. I don't remember. I guess I was in a Twitter conversation, but like, it's going to be some folks my age whose kids are going to find out some stuff about their parents.
Dr. Dre, Snoop Dogg, Eminem, Mary J. Blige, and Kendrick Lamar.
Yeah.
Because when Snoop comes out,
and folks know every word.
Some kids are fixing to find out about their parents is all I'm saying.
Whoa, Mom, chill.
I did. I'm sorry, I didn't know.
No, well, now you know.
Now you know.
Yeah.
If you didn't know, now you know.
You know.
Snoop Dogg just acquired Death Row Records, by the way.
Did he?
He has bought Death
From
Row,
Dr. Dre?
which is
Or
The
had Dre sold that before?
the whole world of Snoop Dogg and Death
Dre,
Row
yeah.
is
Tupac?
crazy in and of itself. So the fact that he even is touching it is hilarious.
Yeah.
But so yeah,
Interesting.
it's going to be fun. Halftime is going to be fun. That's
Don't
all
want to
I'm
miss
saying.
it.
You do not want to miss it. You don't want to miss segment 6 either. We got a couple of things to talk about. College football transfer portal, some top 3 Thursday, I guess.
Impromptu.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Stick around. Main Street Sports Today's coming back after this. Mid-Tennessee Bone and Joint treats your orthopedic injuries and existing conditions. Our trained physicians will get you back in the game faster. Contact us at 931-381-2663 or www.mtbj.net. Hey folks, while we take a quick break from the show, I want to tell you about our friends over at Custom Stone Handlers in downtown Columbia. Ed Rich and his team at Custom Stone Handlers believe in leadership. And outside of the military, our greatest leader building platform is sports. Custom Stone Handlers proudly encourages young people to get in the game. You can contact them today at 931-490-4990 or visit CustomStonehandlers.com.
Jones & Lang Sporting Goods here in Columbia has been outfitting teams, officials, and anybody else from T-ball to college for 50 plus years. Be sure and check them out at 931-388-8060 or online at jonesandlang.com. Jones & Lang Sporting Goods, the look of a winner.
Zion Christian Academy, ZionEagles.org or 931-388-5731. You can schedule your appointment. Go tour their campus. It is beautiful over there, and you're definitely going to want to see it. Again, it's ZionEagles.org. Give them a call, 931-388-5731, and schedule your tour today.
Keep your home as comfortable as possible. If you have any issues with your air conditioner, electrical, or plumbing systems, call Lee Company. Our techs use visual findings and other technology tools to add transparency and clarity. You see what we see, whether we're in a crawl space or on the roof. We're here 24/7, so if you need us, call us. Lee Company. Call 931-548-4448 today or schedule your appointment at leecompany.com. That's leecompany.com.
Mid-Tennessee Bone and Joint has been the official sports medicine provider for Murray County Schools for more than 40 years. We specialize in orthopedic injuries, and our Ortho Quick walk-in service lets you bypass the ER. Visit us online at www.mtbj.net. Welcome back into this final segment of Thursday edition of Main Street Sports Today. I'm Chris Yao alongside Mo Patton and JP Plant on the controls. Video from Lyndon Blake, a reporter for WBRC Fox 6 in Birmingham, asked Brian Harsin as he left the SEC coaches meeting if he planned to coach at Auburn next season, and there was no answer. He did not say anything. But he was wearing a navy blue quarter zip, much like what you're wearing now. No logo, Under Armour logo right on the back neck side. But that's it. Yep. Out the side door, by the way.
So did he hear the question? I mean, did he
he
react
heard the
to
question. No, he just walked away.
Okay.
So interesting, to say the least. It is wild to see, 6 or 7 cameras and microphones in this guy's face. I mean, the poor guy. They don't need to be in his face. Now, of course, this is Birmingham media, and he's in Birmingham, so it's a lot easier to get to him than it is to drive to Auburn, Alabama, and stick it in somebody else's face.
And
But
those faces aren't going to make themselves available to have cameras and microphones stuck in them either.
Right. So
it would be nice to know what Alan Green is thinking right now.
I bet that guy's cussing. I bet Alan Green is cussing.
Yeah, because he's got nothing to do with this.
Neither one of them. And here's the thing.
And I wonder what the conversation is between the two of them. It's like, look, dude,
this ain't me.
I hired you.
Alan Green. Alan Green might go to the university and say, y'all can take this job and shove it. Because you hired me to do a job and you're listening to a guy in a goofy yellow hat? No, thank you.
What's your problem with Yellowwood?
He's the guy. I don't have a problem with Yellowwood. It's just the fact is he's the one who's making this happen. He is the new Bobby Louder.
And that's not a compliment.
And that's not a compliment.
No.
Auburn's been through this before. Did they not learn their lesson?
Clearly not.
You know why they didn't? Because Alabama's won 6 national championships and they've won 1. That's why they ain't learned their lesson.
And that's why the next guy is in Lynchburg, Virginia.
Because he's the only one who can beat him. The only two that can beat him, they fired one of them. And the other one is in Lynchburg.
There you go.
And to be honest with you, if I'm Hugh Freeze, I'm looking at this going, Liberty can pay me as much money and I ain't got to deal with that circus. I'm good. I would rather deal with Jerry Falwell's circus
than this.
Yeah. What does that say about your program?
Well, and here's the deal.
This is not what we're supposed to talk about, but I can't help it.
Well,
it is what it is.
Well, because one Auburn segment wasn't enough. No.
Never enough.
Worst case scenario, Hugh Freeze comes because he's beaten Alabama, doesn't beat Alabama.
Then what?
Then
you're just.
Oh, there'll be a season where he doesn't beat them.
Oh yeah,
as long as Nick Saban's there, you're not winning every year.
No,
he may not win any year.
Yeah.
and how many years does he get of not winning before he gets the Harsin treatment?
Hold on now. This is a man who beat Nick Saban with Chad Kelly at quarterback. I think he could probably get somebody good enough to win. Now,
well, it ain't just the quarterback.
Granted, when Hugh Freeze had Chad Kelly at quarterback, Nick Saban had not evolved into defending against the hurry up, no huddle.
Okay, but also when he had Chad Kelly at quarterback, who was he throwing to?
It was not who you think it was. It wasn't AJ.
No, it wasn't AJ. It was Laquan Treadwell, though.
Yeah, Laquan Treadwell. But still,
it wasn't chopped liver.
No, but they weren't. I mean, they're not Alabama. My point is that Hugh Freeze did things that Alabama couldn't defend at the time.
Because they weren't ready for it.
Alabama can defend it now.
Mm-hmm.
And so Hugh Freeze ain't the answer either. I don't know who he is. Just stay away from Josh Heupel. Because I will cut someone.
If it's not Hugh Freeze, I don't know who it is. And they don't either.
It's Kevin Steele. And that's
Kevin
the
Steele's
worst.
Off limits.
You want to talk about worst case scenario? That's worst case scenario. Man, it's.
You fire a guy in February to hire Kevin Steele.
Fire a guy in February, you don't have a whole lot of options.
Well, no.
This is the thing. And Kevin Steele's got a job, except he doesn't care about that. Never has. That's the truth. I mean, these are facts. I say nothing but facts here.
It's a train wreck.
If I were Harsin, I would walk into the SEC meetings handing out souvenirs for my vacation.
Lays.
It's so
just
good.
An armful of them.
Seriously, this is not only this is better than Days of Our Lives because there's enough comedic value. Like, this is a soap opera, but with comedy involved, and it's phenomenal.
And the social media aspect of it. I mean, if this was 1996 instead of 2022, it's not nearly as entertaining.
No. This is just
This is
perfect storm.
This is pure gold. Absolutely.
Oh,
and it's
man.
a gift that keeps giving.
It really is the gift that keeps giving.
Which is how we get 2 segments out of it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So let me get you into the dining with people, because Jonathan Allen has since deleted a tweet that said he named his grandfather Adolf Hitler and Michael Jackson as 3 people he would want to have dinner with. And folks jumped on him because why would you want to have dinner with Hitler? Well, I mean,
it's a fascinating individual.
I mean, if you are in a fact finding, trying to understand why somebody felt the way they did about something, I mean,
or even the fact that, look, most public speakers study Hitler. People who teach you how to be a public speaker study Hitler because he was a phenomenal public speaker. He could make you want to run through walls for him. Clearly. I mean, he did.
He galvanized the whole country.
So people who, if you want to talk about the art of making someone do what you want as a public speaker, he's the guy. So I can see why he might be on the list. He wouldn't be on my list.
He wouldn't be on my list.
And I don't know that I have 3, but I don't think it would be Hitler, Michael Jackson, and my granddad. My granddad would probably be on the list.
I don't know if my granddad would be on the list. I mean, I spoke to my granddad up until I was like 20, I guess. I mean,
I was 24.
Yeah. So no, Prince and Hank Aaron and somebody else.
That's not surprising, right? I mean, we're not surprised here.
Anybody living?
Oh, that's a good question. I'd have to think on that.
Yeah, I mean,
I spoke to Magic Johnson, so no.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I would. It's funny you said Magic Johnson because Larry Bird would be on my list. I would love to just hear his story of French Lick, Indiana, and what it was like playing a guy like Magic Johnson in the NCAA finals and then having to deal with him for literally
his entire career,
the next decade and a half as a player. I think that would be just fascinating. And then, I would like to talk to Nick Saban. I would like to have dinner with Nick Saban. I think Nick Saban would be a phenomenal dinner partner.
If Nick's, depends on which Nick Saban you got. I don't want the Nick Saban that shows up at press conferences and post games.
No.
I think at dinner you would get the
real.
Yeah.
That would be fascinating.
A candid, just kind of hang out.
His players say he's got a sense of humor.
Well, he certainly does.
Clearly, he's the closer.
What was the guy? What they? He does the D's jokes.
Yeah.
So I mean, there's that.
Yeah.
Yep.
What about you?
It's a good question. Dan Patrick is one guy I definitely want to sit down with. But historical figures, oh man, I mean, there's a litany of Abraham Lincoln, George Washington. I mean, I would go. Robert E. Lee would be a fascinating character. I've read some stuff just about him, and I don't know. There's the history element probably would tickle my fancy.
Kennedy would be on my list.
Kennedy would be good. I mean, really, any president.
Sure.
I mean, really.
MLK.
Yeah.
Are you kidding me? Yeah.
Bill Clinton, Bubba would be a fun
Oh
dinner.
yeah, that'd be great. Of course. That'd be like in the locker room.
Yep.
Yeah, you just go to the locker room for that.
I think W would be fun too.
I mean, as far as a dinner partner, absolutely freaking
well, that's
because he's hilarious.
This is character, yeah.
Great baseball mind.
Yep.
And it would be interesting to get his perspective on the differences between governor and presidency and that sort of thing. And Huh. And being the son of a president and how all that played, dude, nuts.
Yeah.
Anyway, Jonathan Allen deleted the tweet, so which is dumb because we all know what it says, so you should have just left it up there.
Yeah. I mean, screenshots last forever.
You
right?
would have just been better to just
Might as well. It's out there then.
tomorrow. We need to try to get Doug Scopel on.
Okay.
Because the Sounds have announced a pretty cool event, and we'll get into it tomorrow, whether or not we have Doug. We'll also talk about the college transfer portal and all of that. More Super Bowl, everything else. For Mo and JP, I'm Chris Yessing. Have a great day. We'll see you on Friday.